Hello, hello, hello. Let's test this to make sure that you can hear me clearly. I'm going to mute this real quick just to make sure that you can, in fact, hear me. One moment. Okay, wonderful. We are on. We are live. Do me a favor as you come on here, tell me where you are tuning in from in the comments. Just going to share a few links while YouTube gathers me an audience. Okay, we have one of you in here. Tell me where you are tuning in from. I'm going to just share a few links. One moment. Oh, sorry, guys. I wasn't planning on coming on tonight, but I felt the need to. I'm going to do a reading. Let me just do this real quick and add some music to this. Hang on. It's weird. I've been playing this handpan music. It's the #1 choice at the top of Instagram. And a partner of mine was like, "Oh my God, Andrea, so-and-so is stalking you so bad. Look at," anyway, long story short. Okay, so now that you guys can hear me, I want to do a reading tonight. First of all, thank you for subscribing to the channel. And this is going to be about Mars energy. So we've got some Mars energy right now, depending on where Mars is in your chart. Mars is ruled by Aries, and it's the planet of anger, jealousy, wrath, a little bit of drama, so to speak. Let me just make sure one more thing real quick. Hang on one second before we get started. Okay. Hang on one sec. Just a few more things. Just setting up. Okay. So the playback is going to suck. If someone could give the start time to this video as now, that would be greatly appreciated. Whoops. Turn that down. Okay. All right, you guys. So I wanted to come on here and do a reading. If you've felt a little heavy over the last 48 hours, heavy in the body or in the mind, trouble sleeping, or just that you've got a lot going on, or if there's been restrictions of any kind, particularly with traffic or internet or anything like that, this is due to some energy we have from the planet Mars, which can cause chaos, etc. I am going to do a divination for all of you. And when this video is over, I'm going to share a reading with you that I'd like all of you to tune in to. It's from another reader, so it is not from me. And it's a reading. That's interesting. I have 3 friends saying they're on here, but I only see one person on, so that's interesting. I have 3 friends that just texted me and said, "Hey, we're on here listening to you." but it only shows one. Isn't that interesting? So, whenever you listen to a reading, say you're a Pisces, right? But you're on the cusp of Aries, you want to listen to both. My birthday, if I would have been born something like 20 minutes later, I would have been an Aries. So I'm what's considered to be a Pisces Aries cusper. Thank you so much, Moretta. Thank you. I'm what's considered to be a Pisces Aries cusper. And so I always listen to Pisces and Aries. I actually don't listen to any readers currently, but when I am tuning into my own energy, I listen to really 5 signs. So I have heavy Libra in my chart. I'm actually a Libra Scorpio Nakshatra, Vishakta Nakshatra. It's a very powerful nakshatra. I've got a video on it. You can find it on this channel. Beyonce has that nakshatra. Scarlett Johansson has that nakshatra. Katy Perry has that nakshatra. It's actually the male lion. It's the female male lion is what that is. And it is the star of purpose. So my nakshatra, there's 27 nakshatras in Vedic astrology, is the star of purpose. And so what that means, and this is why it's so important we look at people's placements, especially if we're going to cause someone trouble or something, you definitely want to know someone's chart, right? I've always found that people that interfere with my career or my work, they get called out or they get found out. And that's because I have Libra in the MC. MC is how you're seen in the work, or sorry, Leo in the MC. I have a video on that as well. MC is how you are seen in the workplace, right? So people see me as confident in the workplace, specifically on video. And I have that Libra Scorpio Vishakta Nakshatra. So I always see people get karmic justice almost immediately when something's done to me in the workplace. So I want to share something else with you. So I said, when I listen to readings, I tend to tune into Pisces and Aries because I'm a Pisces, but if I would have been born something like 15 to 20 minutes later, I would have been an Aries. And I also have Aries and Jupiter, which is powerful, which is good for money. And then I've got that Libra Scorpio nakshatra, so heavy Scorpio placement. So I listen to Libra and Scorpio. And I also listen to Aquarius because I'm Venus in Aquarius in Vedic astrology. So it's a powerful placement for me. So I generally listen to those signs per which placement. So please be educated on astrology before you listen to readings. I'm going to share something that I want all of you to hear, and I'm going to be very bold about it. So I am a diviner. I'm an intuitive. I have always been an intuitive. And when I relocated a few years ago, I actually allowed that to be jaded. Someone said, you're not into that predictive stuff, are you? And I allowed that person to dictate me doing my craft. It was just a very nice person, just not, I don't think, probably has a misconception like many people do on what an intuitive really is and how it is a divine birthright. And when not used, it can cause frustration, right? So I came to a very sharp conclusion today and over the past, I would say 2 months, where I looked at what was causing me some situational depression. Now, situational depression is much different than depression, right? Depression can be a chemical imbalance. It can be I did a video on this that's excellent, and it's got over 50,000 views on Facebook, and I encourage you to go watch it. Andrea Lee, L-E-I-G-H Cox. It's also in the short section here on YouTube. But what was interesting is what I came to, the conclusion I came to was that I wasn't living my purpose. So my purpose has never, I am the type of woman that, and God bless all of you who have kids and all that, I never wanted kids. It just never did I look up and say, Mommy, I want a stroller. When I was little, I wanted coloring books. I wanted Barbie dolls. I wanted to go to the gym. I was going to the gym at 15 years old. I was doing aerobic videos at 10 in my mom's living room. I wanted to focus on health. I wanted to focus on beauty. I wanted to focus on learning. I wanted to focus on reading. I remember one of my early gifts was a pizza maker where you stick the bread in there and the pizza sauce and you close it. It's like a waffle maker. It was on an infomercial, and every time it would come on, I was like, I want that, I want that, I want that. So always drawn to food. And I used to make the worst meals for my mom, and she would come home from work and pretend like she liked them and then throw them in the garbage. And I'd mess up the kitchen and use all the ingredients, and we didn't have a lot of money. So that was kind of a bitch for her. But so I've always been into aesthetics, food, health, beauty, and kids never really excited me, right? I have my Barbie dolls. I didn't really play with my baby dolls. And that's okay. We each come here with our own purpose. And when I looked at what was pissing me off and stressing me out, was that I stopped doing my purpose because everyone thought I was talking about them. And when I say everyone, this goes beyond, it was really two people. Kept thinking every reading, everything I post, these are people that watch me like hawks. This has gone on for years, you guys, like years, almost a decade. Because I was being so heavily criticized and judged by people that thought every reading was about them, every word was about them, everything I said had to do with them, it started to affect my psyche. It did. It started to affect my ability to read. I'm being honest here. I'm like laying everything out right now. People who think everything is about them, that's a narcissistic personality disorder. I have to put that out there. But people who are paranoid and see that everything someone else does is about them and feels that and thinks that are the easiest people to control and manipulate. But I'm not a controller or a manipulator. And when I found, and this is just putting it out there, when I found myself starting to sway in a direction where I knew I had that power to control and manipulate if I wanted to, because I knew that there were two people in particular that would not stop watching me and reconstructing and reformulating every word I said in their mind to be targeted. I found myself thinking, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't even want to put a reading out anymore. When I started this channel in 2017, the passion within me to do this was so incredibly strong. I mean, it lit me up. It made me feel so happy. I had a broken heart over who I thought was the love of my life, a man I was with for several years. His name was William. And I now look back and know that all of that was being orchestrated by other people that didn't want to see us together at the time. I was dealing with a lot of people trying to pry their way in to our lives, and they were trying to see, I remember an ex of mine had a content creator, a fellow YouTuber, reach out to me on Facebook Messenger and say, hey, where's your boyfriend's house at in Mexico? Like, they were constantly trying to pry their way in my life and get in my life. And I couldn't really put my finger on it then because I was young and naive. I didn't know what was going on. At no time should that have ever happened. So having a Scorpio moon, when I leave situations, people, places, I leave shit in the past. and I move on and I don't look back. Unfortunately, sadly, I've had a couple that have formulated a literal obsession with my life, and over the years have tried to interject their voice, their comments, their crassness, their opinions where it was not welcome. And being a very sensitive person and a sensitive soul, this had a massive effect on me. I am highly intuitive. And I had a beautiful reading with someone who doesn't do personal readings, and I'm going to share that person's YouTube video, the Pisces video they did. I should share the Pisces and the Aries because I'm a Pisces Aries cusper, but both were on point for me. I'm going to share that in the comments of this video when I'm done. And the reason I'm going to share it is it literally is my story. And it brought tears to my eyes. I listened to that reading before I had the reading with them, and it brought tears to my eyes. It was so on point. And I want to say something to all of you. Everybody makes mistakes. I get it, right? But if you make the same mistake over and over again, year after year, decade after decade, lifetime after lifetime, you are really, really, really disturbed. And you better pray that if you have children, they don't carry your karma. Leave people alone to live their own life and do not interject or interfere. I'm going to say that again. Leave people alone to live their own life. Do not interject or interfere. I had a couple interject in my life for almost a decade, and my spirit was affected. My heart became afraid to love, to create, to speak, and to honor my true gifts as a diviner, as an intuitive, as a healer. And along my path, and I'm just going to say this, and it may sound conceited, I don't give a shit. Along my path, there have been other people who have also done this. I leased a house for 2 years in Las Vegas, and literally paid like, I don't know, like something like 90 grand, like paid it up front, never paid a payment late. When I didn't want to renew with them, they caused a world of trouble for me. Tried to get money out of me, tried to extort money. I had to hire an attorney. It was freaking awful. It was one of the worst experiences I've ever had outside of this other experience I'm sharing with you. And the other experience is odd. The other experience is odd because I actually want people to do well. If I feel someone's trying to do good in the world, I want them to do well. But when someone causes me problems, that's it. You know, my well wishes are being retracted. However, with the couple in Vegas, that was like the oddest situation I had ever seen. Even the attorney I hired was like, I've never seen anything like this. It's like you pay their mortgage for 2 years, and then you want to move, and because you won't renew, they come after you. It was they actually tried to do what was called a no cause eviction. Literally, there's no cause for it. So it got thrown out. This was years ago. This was in Vegas. And I want to tell you what happened after that. Right after I moved out of that house, 3 days later, it flooded. It flooded. Like Las Vegas got a bunch of rain, and the actual house flooded. So when you have a purpose, I'm not trying to say I'm like Jesus or anything, although Jesus was a Pisces, you can Google that. When you have a purpose and a path, or if you see someone with a purpose and a path, please do not pass judgment on them. Please, for the love of God. Because when you try to interfere with that purpose or path, the wrath comes. And I'm not saying I bring the wrath, but I have noticed in my life when I am done wrong, the truth prevails and it always comes out. I had someone stick up for me today. So today, in the beautiful town I live in, it's such a cool little town, the internet was down at the house. And I got 2 text messages the night before saying, hey, there's not going to be any internet the next day. We're going to start at 6 a.m. Well, they started at like midnight because there was like no internet all day. And I had someone here that, we'll just say that this person has been a friend of mine for many years and loves me dearly. And I love this person dearly. And it is a connection that is unmatched when it comes to friendship, trust, kindness, love, protection. It's one of those like kindred spirits. And it's funny, I had 2 people who chimed in on a video I did, this video where I was talking about how I went through depression. And someone emailed me and said, I think your ex, so-and-so, is taking your shit personally again. I'm like, what? I think he posted this video. It's got like 50,000 views. And I think he thinks it's about him. He's like obsessed. I'm like, no, there's no way. Like talking about depression can make someone think. Sure enough, he elaborates a little more and says, oh, so-and-so put a video out on about you. I did not want to hear it, did not listen to it. But someone came to my defense. And when you have someone in your life that sticks up for you and is like, you know what, enough's enough, fuck this, right? Like enough's enough, done. You know, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of watching you be stalked. I'm sick of watching you be watched online. I'm sick of watching people cause you issues when you're just trying to shine your light and help people who need help along their journey. Because let me tell you guys something, life is not easy. Even if you see my life is easy, I have a lot of burdens. I have an elderly dog. He's in his 20s. Every day I wake up and make sure he's breathing. Bless his heart, and he is. I have a family member that's very close to me with health issues. Every day I worry about that and pray on that. I lost a cousin who was younger than me, who had 4 kids to cancer 2 years ago, right when I moved in this house. Her name was Mika. I have a lot of men who are interested in me, who I, for my own personal reasons of divinity and purity and channeling and needing to tap into people I work with on a deep level who I just kind of shoot down and don't give an opportunity to. And we're talking, these are wonderful men. These are wealthy men. These are millionaires, billionaires, world travelers, you know, speak 5 languages, good men, you know, men who have raised children, some who haven't. And it's just where I'm at on my journey. I'm focused on purifying my spirit and my essence and who I am as a woman and being a better friend to people and being a better person and being a better creator and being healthier and honoring myself where I'm at on my journey too, sleeping 13 hours if I need to. Sorry, you guys, I didn't want this to be about me, but I want to share what happened today. So today I'm at this coffee shop and my friend is there and he's like, you know what? You've been through too much. Jesus take the wheel, basically it was. And within about, I would say 45 seconds, he articulated voice to text, voice to message, what I had went through. what I had cried about, what I had endured. And it's interesting, when you go through something, it's easy to think that everyone else knows what you're going through and how you perceive a situation. And one thing I've learned is that's not always the case, right? We go through something and we use what we're told, what we're hearing. Sometimes if you guys are, what I've went through, people are literally looking in on my life. It's like, it's not like I'm famous or anything and it's paparazzi. It's two people that have tried to siphon my energy for such a long time by thinking they know who I am and thinking they can poke fun at me and make fun of me and say cruel things to me and interject in comments and things like that and cause mischief in my life. And for years, I just laid there like a doormat and took it. I mean, I can remember my friend Ronnie coming and staying with me at my house in Carlsbad. And my boyfriend at the time, William, was off on a business trip. And one of these people, one of this couple, the woman, called the guy that was staying at my house and was like, okay, what's her house look like? What's this? What's that? It was weird. So this went on for years, folks. And I was oblivious to it. I was always caught up in my own relationship with William and my own life and traveling and my dogs and creating and building websites and writing books that I never paid attention to it. And what I realized is at least one of these two people had a vested interest in seeing me fall. Not wanting me to do well, comparing. This person was comparing themselves, what they had or lack of, to me, and chiming in every second they could get in the comments. And I always took it. But I want to tell you guys something. You get to a point in your life where you cannot take it anymore. And you're like, enough's enough. Enough is enough. There was a time with this couple that, and the thing is I don't even know the female. I only know the male, and I never remembered him to be this way. I never thought he was like this. But there was a time where the female wrote a lie about me, a horrible lie, on my social media, tagged me in a post that was completely fictitious and could ruin someone's life. And the only thing I wanted after that was hey, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. And all of that came because I didn't answer a message on Messenger from her. I guess she messaged me years earlier and I never responded. If you guys knew, if you guys woke up and saw how many messages I have across the board on social media, it would be exhausting just to look at. It is exhausting. When I tell you it's exhausting, it's exhausting. And then weeding out like, okay, who wants coaching? Who wants a reading? Who's a pervert? Who's this? Who's that? It's enough to make anyone go mad. I now have AI set up. I have someone that answers my messages for me. But part of the reason I have someone answering my messages for me is because, again, with the fake accounts and the nonsense, I went through this for years. So what happens over time is you learn from people that cause you strife. You learn from people who cause you mischief. You learn from people who cause you anxiety, like, wait, I don't want to go live tonight and make a salad because so-and-so is going to be in the comments talking about the way I look, and so-and-so is going to be in the comments tearing me down, and so-and-so is going to be and the thing is, I got so intelligent with this over the years with the harassment. I'm almost going to start crying. that I learned to recognize the lingo. I started recognizing the lingo in the comments coming from the same frickin' person over and over and over again. So what do? I transmute my pain into purpose, and I am wrapping up a book. Yeah, I'm wrapping up a book on this. And you know what? It needed to happen. This needs to happen because after so many years of having, hey, where's your boyfriend's house in Mexico? Having, my ex sent some other content creator who's actually quite big on YouTube now to message me that on Facebook. I still have the message, and that was none of their business. And then my friend coming and staying with me in Carlsbad, and my ex's girlfriend at the time, like, hey, what's her house look like? What's she eat? Is she really vegan? Like, contacting the person. It was weird. And then as years went on, chiming in from fake comments, you're this, you're that, you're this. And I always recognize where they came from. The person, posting on social media that I did things that I didn't publicly and tagging me in it. Contacting people that followed me on social media. Watching the comments section of every post I put out and seeing, okay, who can I friend? Who can I squeeze in there? Can I friend this person? Maybe get some business off of them? Can I do this? Can I do that? It was sick. And I got fed up with it. I was done. Fed up. So much so that I took legal action a few years ago. I was first to take legal action because I had had enough. And the reason I took legal action is because my content was being reported up to 150 times per day. Can you imagine? I'm happy to still have a Facebook and an Instagram account. 150 times per day, everything was being reported. Everything. Oh, this is reported for sexual content. This is reported for this. This is reported for that. So, then I had to get forensics and stuff involved. It was a freaking nightmare. I have never reported anyone's content unless there was animal abuse. I am a stickler about allowing people to live their life. But either this person or these two people did not want to see me rise. And that hurt my heart for a long time, but then it pissed me off. And I got to tell you guys, when you are a sensitive Pisces with a moon in Scorpio and you're a Libra in Vedic, oh my God, you are the nicest, most unconditional, loving person there is. But if someone interferes with your career, oh no. And I always say to people, you can sleep with my husband, you can cut my favorite flowers down in the front yard, you can spit in my face, you can never mess with my animals, my family, or my career, my creativity, my writing, my work. That is where I draw the line. And when I say draw the line, I draw the line legally. I draw the line verbally. I will show you who you are. Like, here's who you are. Here's what we're seeing. Here's the amount of time I went through this. If any of you are out there and you're causing someone problems or you've caused someone problems, put yourself in their shoes. Try to put yourself in their shoes. I'm owed a huge apology. Huge. I have a very forgiving, loving heart. And a lot of things could have been prevented had I gotten hey, God, I was talking out the side of my face. I'm sorry. Hey, probably shouldn't have called someone that was staying in your house. Sorry about that. hey, probably shouldn't have inquired where your boyfriend lived. Sorry about that. I mean, all of this was done to me over the course of a few years, and I was so naive to it. I was so oblivious to what was going on. And I think the final straw was when a fake account was created and some photos were sent to me of me before I was of age. And it was on Facebook. And that's a big deal. That's a really, really, really big deal. And they're trying to pass it off like it's a person or a client. It's not. It's not. Because the hatred that came through in those messages, and as intuitive as I am, and from what we researched, we know it's not. But I'm dealing with two people in their ego that want to play badass. So I guess we're going to play badass now. And all of this could have been resolved with a, hey, sorry we were screwing with you. Sorry we caused you problems. Sorry we sent you those photos and, you know, hashtag the lessons. Like, I mean, who the fuck does that, right? This has caused a lot of trauma. And so what happened over the past few months, now I'll get to what I was going to do when I started this. What happened over the last few months is I got really sad that I had allowed this behavior to affect me. I want to tell you another way it affected me, and this is the worst part of it. I have really good female friends. I've always been able to make very solid female friends with a lot of different calibers of women, all shapes, all sizes, all colors, all ages. I am a woman's woman. I grew up in a house of where with all women, and every woman was more beautiful than the next. My mom, drop dead gorgeous, high cheekbones, green eyes, really petite. My sister Stacy looked like a pinup model. My sister Cassandra, tan, thin, looked like she wasn't even from our family. I think the mailman got my mom pregnant. Gorgeous. My whole family, cousins, like grandmother was like, you guys have heard me talk about my grandma LaGolda. She was just the absolute epitome of teachings and growing your own food. So I am a woman's woman. I don't have a jealous bone in my body. And what happened to me over the last few years caused me to not trust anyone, including women who were trying to be friends with me. And that hurt a lot. It hurt a lot because I am such a girl's girl. It's just, I am just the biggest cheerleader for women to succeed. Another thing that's really sad is the two people that caused me all this drama. I don't think they ever thought I would grow because they were trying to kind of hold me back. And it's that old adage, like, you know, if you can't beat them, join them. Like, they should have been supportive and kind instead of catty and cruel. And I hope to God, because they'll listen to this, because they listen to everything I do, I hope to God they learn that lesson. I really, really do. I pray to God that now the lesson, hashtag the lesson, is learned. And, you know, during that stage of depression where I laid on my beautiful white couch with my beautiful furry husbands, and I thought about life, and I went out back. I have a beautiful yard here. And I laid under the stars at night, and I laid under the sun during the day. And I kind of was just kind of regurgitating my content because I didn't really want to go live a lot or anything. And I didn't really shower a lot. And I was kind of grungy. Well, I went through this depression. I really felt into myself. What is at the root of your unhappiness right now, Andrea, because you have everything. You have a beautiful home. You always have enough money to pay for everything. And you guys, it is not cheap. Okay. Let me just tell you, it's not cheap to live where I live. Okay. In Arizona, you get $1,500 air conditioning bills. Okay. So it's not cheap to live here. I'm attractive. I'm healthy. In fact, I'm very attractive. I'm healthy. I love animals. I have a loving heart. I have beautiful people that want to be in my life. I have a gorgeous family. My nephew's a genius, and I love him more than life itself. I love my mom. I just saw her last month, going to see her this month for my birthday. I love my sisters. I love my brother-in-laws. I love life. I love this town. I love the people I've met here. I love my colon hydrotherapist. I love my friends online, my friends offline. I love my best friend I spent time with today. Why wasn't I happy? Because I felt that I couldn't be myself. I felt that I'd given so much and I've taught so much. And I've allowed people to take and take and take and chip away at my soul, at my gifts with judgment when they were learning off of me at the same time. And it was hurtful and it was painful. And I felt angry for myself to have been so naive that I didn't call out the bullshit as it happened over the course of a decade. And I felt sad at myself for trusting the wrong people for so long. Even when my ex, William, was pointing out, I think it's that guy you used to date, and I think it's that woman and I was like, oh no, they wouldn't do anything like that to me. I'm angry at myself for being so naive and dumb and allowing myself to be taken advantage of, to be treated poorly, to be harassed online. And the fact that I didn't stick up for myself sooner pisses me off. I wish I would have stuck up for myself in 2017, 2020. Like, hey, not my problem. You sent me a message on Facebook Messenger and I didn't frickin' answer. Okay. First of all, I didn't see it. Second of all, I'm not obligated to respond to you. I don't know you. It's weird, ride on someone else's coattails. The whole thing has been weird, awkward, and unjust. And I feel like finally now I'm able to step into a place of peace. So that being said, if you're going through anything right now, the way you are going to navigate out of it with the way the energies are aligned, the stars are aligned, and the world is aligned, is you must, and I mean must. This is really easy for me because I've got a moon in Scorpio. You have to let go of the past. When I let go of the past, it's like that. It's very easy. I never look back. Only when people are poking the bear do I turn around and say, what the hell's going on? Nobody's going to poke this bear ever again. But a lot of you hold on to the past and you ruminate, oh, but that still looks better than what I have. And that looks better. And oh, God. And she's taller than what I have. And her boobs are bigger. And oh my God, she's smarter. And let go of the past. Oh, that house I used to live in was better. Let go of the past. Oh, that job I used to have is better. Let go of the frickin' past. Oh, that person that doesn't want me and treated me like shit. Let go of the past. Weirdo. This is all I've been trying to teach you guys to do, is to let go of old cycles that no longer serve you. Very simple. Very, very simple. A lot of you have had some people in your life that tried to interfere with and really broke you up with someone you were meant to be with. Some of you need to cleanse your colon. We have root worker. Whoever this is into witchcraft, which is negative. They probably are unattractive because usually witchcraft, the first thing witchcraft does is ruin your appearance. So I get the feeling we have someone young that's into this. Root worker and soul family. Some of them could do it in groups. And we have hidden talents. It's because this person isn't talented. They don't have any gifts. Okay, we have hidden talents, twin flame. And then over here, we have root worker and soul family. And we have, okay. Give me the lone coyote. It's interesting. And we have snake. Okay. Energy vampire. Yeah. Okay. So it's interesting. We have someone here that's an energy vampire and a snake. I'm using my own deck, the Lessons of the Mystical Muse. I'll link it in the comments and in the description box. The energy vampire and the snake is someone who takes from others ideas, their words, everything they create is not of their own. You have the power to create on your own. You just have to tap into that energy. The main problem with what many of you are going through right now is there's so much online to look at. And so you're trying to create from the old instead of creating from what you're in right now. We then have underneath that the lone coyote, forgiveness, soul family, root worker. Okay. And then to the right, twin flame and hidden talents. On the twin flame and hidden talents, I feel like if you're tuning in and you're listening right now, we have gut health, and in this card in particular, she is pregnant. I feel like you're in a twin flame union right now. So you're with the person you're supposed to be with. So there's no reason for you to continually look at what the past is doing and saying and create. There's no reason to. The hidden talents card comes with the forgiveness card in this lone coyote. And we have self-care. So with this woman on the forgiveness card, we have unconditional love, self-care, and lone coyote. Someone is meant to travel on a solo journey. They have a very unique path, and they actually love being alone. You don't have to look down on this person or judge this person. This person likes being alone. I feel like this is someone with a lot of options. And they're just like, yeah, no, my peace is still the best option. And it doesn't come from a place of wounding or source wounding or childhood trauma or past life trauma. It comes from them having a unique ability to help others heal. So it comes from a unique ability for them to help other people heal. Soul family, root worker. I do feel if someone has done root work or some type of the craft on you, I feel like you're being released from that. I feel like you had someone doing something that really doesn't know what they're doing. And I feel like if you're this single woman and forgiveness, let's pull another card, self-care. There is a need for you to take better care of yourself. I feel like recently you've just been probably had a lot going on. The grow your own food card is here. It's actually coming out twice, and I didn't realize I had this double deck. So I feel like you're going to find a lot of peace in a garden, whether it's you gardening. I feel like there's a garden that needs to be rebuilt, reconstructed. And I feel like if you're this single woman, the forgiveness card, the self-care card, you know how to do this quickly. We have sexy on salads and we have juicing. Okay, so you're being asked to get back to your natural self. And we have whoever brings you peace. And this is a card of friendship. and yoga will feed your soul. And last but not least, you are called to work with crystals. Okay. And we have the Rainbow Bridge card. I hate when that card comes out. Well, I don't hate when that card comes out because my dog Roger is on this card, and Roger's Ranch is a place where animals and people come to heal, and that's what I want to build. And so I think that coming out, I don't like when it comes out because I have, elderly pets, but I think what it's trying to tell me is a message for myself and maybe a message for many of you that there's something you want to build that's about to come into fruition. By the way, you guys, since I have you here, I'm going to actually share a link in the comments. You get 2 free votes. Could you vote for me in this contest? I'm going to share the link. I really want to win. I have a strong desire to build an animal rescue. And I am going to share this. So I made it to the final round. Haven't even looked at this. I'm probably like way, way down there. But I'm just going to say, please vote for me here. It's free. You'll have to log in through your Facebook. But here it is. It is the Entrepreneur of Impact contest. And I really want to win. And it's not about winning. It's more about building this place where animals and people come to heal. I have a lot of people that come to me with degenerative diseases. I had a guy I used to date come to me tonight, and his girlfriend has throat cancer. And I'm very good at what I do when it comes to that. And I also want to rescue animals. So that link that I just shared in the comments, if you can vote for me, that will be very, very, very helpful. And so we all have a divine purpose, and it's about focusing on that purpose. For some of you, it's a person, and not looking at the past. The past is over, or it didn't come into fruition for a reason. I feel like we have a lot of masculines that hold on to their past, and it's not healthy. And it causes unnecessary friction, right? So let go. There's all this exciting stuff in the new, and that's where your head needs to be. I am sending you also, I want to say this. If you didn't have your shit together in the past when you met someone, let that go. You don't have to be mean to someone just because you didn't have your shit together when you met them. You don't pick on someone that you feel got away, right? You focus on what you have now. That's a message for someone that needs to hear that tonight, a masculine energy. All right, you guys, I love each and every one of you. What a weird, I just thought I'd express myself. Anyway.